Hi everyone, welcome to this video on how to perform CRUD operations with observable data objects along with async pipes in the Syncfusion Angular Tree Grid. In this video, I will show you how to perform CRUD operations like insert, update, and delete using the observable objects in the Angular Tree Grid. In this sample, I am using the same sample which was used in the binding observable data to an Angular Tree Grid video. In this sample, all the necessary TreeGrid modules like toolbar service for showing the CRUD UI in the TreeGrid toolbar and edit service for editing the TreeGrid data are bound to the TreeGrid with observable data. And I have already set the ID field as the primary key column. You need to check whether you have set a primary key column to the TreeGrid. If the primary key is not defined on the TreeGrid, then the edit and delete actions take place at the first row. You can download this sample from the link provided in this video's description with the label try sample. If you are not familiar with how to bind observable data and the editing features of the tree grid, I suggest you my previous video linked in the YouTube card and then continue with this one once you have a better understanding. Let me run this sample using the command ngserve. I am clicking the add button to add a new record. I am giving all the field values and then clicking the save button. You can see the data is not updated in the tree grid. This is because I have only added code to load the data at initial rendering. I did not add code for add, update, and delete operations. Now I will start writing the code to add a new record into the tree grid. In the task store service class, I will define a method add record, which is of return type task model observable. You can see that this method receives an argument of type data source changed event args, which contains the new data while the source changes in the tree grid. So let me import it from Syncfusion EJ2 grids. I will return the HTTP post method with a parameter that includes a remote API call, a new data object, and HTTP options. HTTP options is the header options, and now I will show you how to define it. Import the HTTP headers from the Angular common HTTP path. I will define the constant variable HTTP options and assign the HTTP header with its content type as application JSON. Now I can use this HTTP options variable as a parameter in my post method. Let me move on to the TreeGrid HTML code where I will define the data source changed event of the Angular TreeGrid, which triggers whenever any CRUD actions like adding a new record or editing or deleting records from the Angular TreeGrid occur. I am defining the data source changed event method, which receives the argument data source changed event args and importing it from the Syncfusion EJ2 grids package. In the data source changed event method, I am checking whether the state action is add, which indicates the state that I am currently inserting a new row into the tree grid. Within this condition, I am going to subscribe to the observable returned by the task service class add record method. Within the subscribed method, I have made a call to the endEdit method of tree grid to save and display the newly added data in the tree grid UI. Now run the sample. Click the add button to add a new record. I am entering the values for all the fields and then clicking the save button. You can see the newly added record in the tree grid. Let's move on to the update option. Open the task store service.ts file. I am defining the update record method. Here I am using the HTTP put method and passing the same data source change event args parameters which I have sent in the add record method. The task store service file changes are done. So let's move on to the app component.ts file. Here within the data source change event method, I am adding a condition to check for the edit action. And within this condition, I have subscribed to the observable update record method and made a call to the endEdit method of the tree grid to save and display the modified data on the tree grid. To handle the delete action in the same way, let me open the taskstore service.ts file. Here I am adding the delete record method, which accepts the argument of type data source change event args, and making a call to the HTTP delete method by passing the URL and the header options. In this case, along with the API URL, I need to pass the ID of the deleted record. So here I am accessing the ID value from the data source change event data argument. Now I will show you how to add this delete record method from the app-component.ts file. In the data source change event method, I need to add another condition and check if the request type is delete. I am subscribing to the observable return by the delete record method. And within this subscribed method, I am calling the endEdit method of the tree grid to refresh the tree grid with the modified data source. This is how you can handle CRUD operations with observable data binding. I am now saving the files. You can see the browser refreshed with the new changes. To start editing a record, I will select a record and click the edit button in the toolbar and modify the values. Next, clicking the save button, you can see the changes have been saved in the tree grid. If I want to delete the selected record, clicking the delete button will delete that record from the tree grid. Let me summarize the points we have covered in this video. We have seen how to perform CRUD operations like insert, update, and delete in the Angular tree grid with observable data binding. We have also seen that the primary key plays a major role in performing any CRUD actions in the tree grid. Ensure that you maintain the same observable instance for every CRUD actions in the tree grid. You can download this featured sample from the link provided in the description below with the label Complete Sample. If you found this video useful, click the like button and subscribe to our channel to get notifications for our newest videos. Thanks for watching.